future, but don't expect instant millions. Trading is where real money at. We're looking at a pound versus the dollar, and let's get straight to it, breaking it down. So, first thing we see on pound versus the dollar, and again, one thing you need to know is that when it comes to currency pairs, they really respect those zones, right? You gotta know that they really respect those zones. So, first thing I see that we have some kind of support down here, and we are on the 1 hour time frame. I prefer to do my analysis on the 1 hour and then execute on a smaller time frame, which is the five. Remember, I'm a scalper, right? So we see that we created some kind of support. And what I mean by saying pairs really respect your zones, as y'all can see for yourselves, we created some kind of support. And since from there, obviously, we kind of rejected it without breaking it, right? Every time we hit it, we had that subsequent candle. Every time we hit it, we had that subsequent candle. So typically, we're just consolidating in one place, right? Because in trading, there's only three ways or three moves, right? Which is bearish, consolidation, and bullish, right? Either we're going to the upside, or either we're going to the downside, or either we're just consolidating in one place, not going anywhere, right? So when it comes to trading, it's not a matter of you saying you want to make this X amount of money by the end of the day, but you gotta really focus on mastering your craft, right? Getting the skill right. Because once you have the skill right, the money is gonna come itself, right? So back at it, we see that price has been rejecting this support couple of times, and that's the first confirmation seeing that hey, price cannot break that support to a point where every time we hit it we have a bullish subsequent candle. And remember, you trade the markets for what they are, not what you heard or what you think. You trade the markets for what they are. The market comes to you, right? So as you see, we had those rejections and eventually we had that subsequent candle, right? And if I was to move to the 5 minute time frame, you can see that impulse to the upside, right? So that's the reason why I prefer analyzing on the bigger time frame and executing on a smaller time frame, because the smaller the time frame, the more points or the more pips we secure. So as we can see, that very same support we had on the 1 hour time frame, we still have it right here, and y'all can see it yourself, we still have it right there. And the moment price retested that support again, eventually we broke up to the upside. But I'm here to show you how to take trades. I'm here to show you how to execute trades as a beginner or as a person that's learning a new skill, right? Because hey, everybody can do it. It's just a matter of who's dedicated, right? Obsession always beats talent. That's how it is. You can want it, but somebody can want it even more and put in the work while you're only talking. That's mandatory, trust me. So the very support we have on the 1 hour, which I'll go back for y'all, the very same support we have here, which I'll use my arrow to show y'all, the very same support we have right here, which is this support right here, the very same support we have, which is this support, right? As y'all can see it, if I go back to the 5 minute time frame, I created my own support, but y'all can see the very same support we have on the 1 hour time frame, right? Whereby here we have it right there. And as y'all can see, we didn't reject only once, but we rejected probably 4 times, and eventually we had that subsequent candle to the upside. And obviously, how would you take this trade, right? And for you to take the trade, it's not even hard, right? Obviously, we would look for that resistance breakout to the upside, right? We wait for that breakout. So you all gotta really pay close attention to this, right? Because once you master this strategy, like, you good, trust me. And trust me, like, once you there in the markets full time, you really know now that hey, being a trader, it's not always about taking trades, right? It's not about taking trades. It's about using the right or using proper risk management, right? Following your plan, sticking to your plan, all things like that, not just trading for the sake of trading. No, that is not done. So obviously, after creating our resistance line, as y'all can see, I used that last week, our resistance line. So in this case, what are we waiting for? We're waiting for that breakout to the upside, whereby we headed. And obviously, our first confirmation was those rejections on that support, because the first subsequent candle that dropped to the downside was weak. And again, we just started consolidating, just playing around, right? As but whereby if I was to go on the 1 hour time frame, you would see it yourself, right? We just started consolidating, just playing in one place, doing nothing. Eventually, when we had that subsequent candle, price really did push to the upside. And obviously, that's our break right there, right? Obviously, that's our break right there. So let me do this. I'm sorry for that. So obviously, that's our break right there. And moving back to the 5 minute time frame, you know, I just want to show y'all this trade. So obviously, how would you execute the trade is your question. I know, definitely, right? So this is how it would be done. The moment we see all those rejections down there, I just want to straighten my arrow. The moment we see all those rejections down there, that's our first confirmation that, hey, price created some kind of support, but we haven't broke it yet. Every time we hit it, we push to the upside. Every time we come back, we push to the upside. So that's the first confirmation that, hey, we got support and we cannot break it. And again, you have to remember that when it comes to currency pairs, they really respect those zones, whether support or resistance. They really respect those zones. And another mistake I hate to see new traders do, or even long-term traders or full-time traders do, right, is making their own setups in their head in terms of they do not find no trades. No trade is a trade, right? If that makes sense. No trade is a trade. Just sitting back and not doing nothing, it's fine sometimes, right? Just because you are traded doesn't mean you have to be in the markets 247 or 245, right? So the moment we rejected, we saw that, hey, we did reject, but price pushed to the upside. But eventually we didn't break. Price was weak. We didn't break. Let me adjust my support. Eventually we see that, hey, we couldn't break. Eventually we did hit that resistance which we had right there. And what happened, we came back down, retested again, came back down, and eventually we did push to the upside. So that's our breakout. But eventually I'm just gonna go deep into it and show you how to take the breakdown, because that is what it's all about, right? So as I said earlier, and I will say it again, first confirmations are our rejections. Second confirmation, we waiting for that breakout, right? We waiting for that breakout. And what do I mean by that? This is what I mean. Obviously, when price is coming back to that support, you would see it, right? And the moment we just start playing in one position, as y'all can see, candles just started packing in a straight line. Candles just started pegging in a straight line. So this just shows you that, hey, there's a lot of buyers and sellers in the market. And on top of that, there's no trade. You never trade that because we're just consolidating. Price is not doing nothing. But obviously, an arrogant trader that doesn't want to learn will just take sells, and then they lose, and then they say trading is a scam while they are the scam. They're just playing themselves, self-sabotage, and we do not do that. So as I was saying, the moment we rejected there, probably that's our second confirmation, because hey, we have a support we cannot break. We're just rejecting in one straight line. Eventually we did have some momentum, subsequent candle, and the moment we break that resistance line we have, which is our breakout line, right? The moment we break it, that's our third confirmation. That's when we jump and take the trade, because hey, remember, we are breakout traders. We're trading breakouts, whether support, trend line, or resistance breakout. As long as it's a breakout, we take it, right? But not every trade. Hey, we're looking for that liquidity sweep, right? We wait for the right time. It's all about timing. Trust me, patience is power. So as I'm saying, the moment we have that break right there, that's where we enter the trade, right? Because the moment we break right there, that's when we enter the trade. And eventually we did have that retest, which is right there, as y'all can see it, right? We did have our retest, and obviously after our retest, subsequent candle, price continuing to the upside, as y'all can see, right? Subsequent candle, price continuing to the upside, price continuing to the upside, and y'all can see that, hey, price pushed up for a minute, that we started being weak, and obviously price needs to breathe. That's how it is. Obviously price needs to breathe. That's what we see, that's what we know. Price needs to breathe, right? So being honest with y'all, if I was to go on the 1 hour time frame, right, I'll show y'all what I'm really on. But first, let me move these arrows. I really hope y'all really understand me, because trust me, this is not rocket science. If you're dedicated, it's gonna work out. So going back to the 1 hour time frame, right? I just wanna point out something to y'all. If only I can use my duplicate screen, but I cannot. So if I was to show y'all this, right? So on the 1 hour time frame, as I'm looking at it, this is what I'm really on. As y'all can see it proper, right? We see that we did kind of create that kind of clean traffic consolidation and clean traffic, but what I'm really on is price rejecting that resistance and probably dropping to the downside. That's what I'm really on. I won't even lie. Price really dropping to the downside, right? Probably dropping back to 1.26715, or probably dropping down to 26,840, or we can even target 26,965, right? So it's a matter of targeting our previous zones, not just guessing or predicting where price is going to go. No, trading is guessing, but in an educated way. Self education, right? So now we see that, hey, price did break that resistance, but I'm looking at it as a fake out, right? I'm looking at it as a fake out whereby price fakes out while you're jumping for those buys. Price fakes out, and then suddenly, boom, it just drops to the downside. It turns directions. So it's just a matter of knowing what you're doing, So put in the work, be patient with it, and trust me, you're gonna win at anything you do, right? If you want it, you go for it. That's how it is.